Hey, all my webheads out there, welcome back to Comic Book Corner 2.0, and fans, I'm your host, Mike Spider Slayer, getting ready to bring you another episode of After the Poll. That's right, guys, this is where I take 5 of my most highly anticipated comics and see if they live up to the hype, and I rank them from number 5 all the way to number 1. Now, will those rankings hold up by the time we get to the end of the comic book week when I read all my comics? I don't know. You'll have to find out, and the way you can find that out is if you go ahead and watch my live stream that takes place every Tuesday night. It's called Comic Book Weekly. Like I said, Tuesday nights, 10:15 p.m. Eastern Time, and you're going to see my definitive top 5 comic books of the week. This is just a temporary list. So guys, just a quick shout out real quick before we get started to Mutant Beaver Comics, who has over 1,000 exclusive variant covers in their store to choose from. So if you guys love exclusive variants, just go on the mutantbeavercomics.com, place your order. You won't be disappointed, and you can save 10% by using my promo code CORNER10. So guys, let's get started with this week's episode. We only read 5 comic books this week. Sometimes I usually read some more, but I'm getting ready to go to Jacksonville on a trip, so I only got a chance to read 5. So coming in at number 5, and this is definitely going to be by default, this one goes to the Amazing Spider-Man issue 88 Point Beyond. Oh my god, guys, you know, this was on my hot seat if I was actually going to buy this book. And you know, at the end of the day, I was like, you know what, it's Spider-Man. I have every single issue. Lately the books have been getting better, but you know what, if you want to save $4, save your $4, because this book is not worth it. In story writing, storytelling, and artwork, it just was not appealing for me. The one good thing that you might want to get out of that is if you like the Slingers from the 90s, you're going to be happy to see these characters in this book. And you do get to see them, but you don't get to see them all until you get to the very end of this book. And it leaves you like with a cliffhanger there. So if this is the last that we will see of Hornet and the Slingers. But this book basically was about Hobie Brown's organization getting bought out by the Beyond Corporation. So for a lot of this book, it was like a boardroom meeting, and you got to see how much money he got paid out. And you're just like, oh man, this is very boring, and where are we going with this, right? So of course, since they gave them so much money, why did they want to buy the corporation? And you just see Hobie just going out and examining everything that's going on. He's doing an investigation, and one thing leads to another, and another thing leads to another, and somehow the Slingers are together, and that's how the book ends. There was nothing tying this book to what is currently going on in the story besides the name of the Beyond Corporation and buying Hobie's company, and Peter's name got brought up once in the book. So this was very loosely tied in. If you're looking to save $4, please save it here. This book is definitely not worth the read. It won't be in my number 5 after I get done reading the rest of my books this week. So this is definitely not a recommend. Coming in at number 4, and this was my sleeper pick of the week, the new independent number 1, and this one is called Life Zero issue 1. This is done by Ablaze. And the reason why I picked up this book was because it's an apocalyptic book. I love apocalyptic books, even though we've seen 100,000 of them at this point. But also, Marco Cicchetto did the artwork in this series. So I was like, I'm definitely going to check this out if his artwork is involved. And I love the detail that he puts in his characters. We get to see that in the book. You see some dark tones in there. But I loved here where he get to showcase how he drew his zombies. And I thought that was really cool, right? Now, the one thing that I wanted to hear in this book was how this zombie apocalypse happens. And there's a lot of references. There's a little bit of references here in from The Walking Dead. Like, they even name these people The Walking Dead zombies and whatnot, and you have to shoot them in the head to kill them. So there's a lot of stuff here that's very familiar if you read The Walking Dead. Now, the only difference is, instead of it taking place in a rural town, which was actually brought up in this comic book, that it takes place in this major city. So everything just feels like much more of a threat. So how this book starts off is we get to see this team. I don't know exactly if they're the Army, the Navy, whatever they are. I don't know who they are, Marines. They got to try to rescue their captain, and their captain has been framed and been sent to jail. So he's stuck in this jail while this zombie apocalypse has happened, and they got to try to rescue him. So you get to see this intense action with these guys trying to rescue their captain, trying to evade the zombies, and by the time you wind up getting to the end of this book, they get overrun by the zombies. They're trapped in this prison trying to rescue their captain, and the helicopter that was waiting for them was overrun by zombies. It blows up, and now they're stuck there. So it was cool, man. I liked it. I thought it was fun. It doesn't seem like an original story so much right now, but maybe there's a twist or a turn. Now, going back to how the apocalypse happened, they're describing that there was this cloud that rained over the city, and it turned people into zombies. And then whoever lived through it, the zombies ate the people, and then obviously they turn and it spreads, and that's how it goes. But it was all because of some chemical cloud. Who created that cloud? Was it good? Was it evil? Was science experiment gone wrong? I don't know, but that's how the whole thing started. So at least we got a little bit of an explanation there. So if you're looking for an apocalyptic book, a zombie book, check out Life Zero. It's got some good artwork. We'll see where it goes from there. Coming in at number 3, we have Maestro Issue 1, World War M. This is the conclusion to Peter David's Maestro series. We got a pretty good origin story of where this character came from, how he became, from Bruce Banner, just regular Hulk, to just this world domination type of character, right? When it comes to the artwork in this book, in the beginning of it just looked weird. I didn't like the facial expressions. It was like supposedly a VR thing. It wasn't like real reality, but then when Blonsky wakes up in real time, everything started to improve. So I was happy that the artwork did improve as the issue progressed. We got to see some cool little Atlantean warriors. We wound up seeing Namor in this book, which he aged a little bit, but he's not that old. And we wound up even seeing the original what's his name, Human Torch in this book too, I think. And we get to see him in this issue too. So the artwork was pretty good. Now, what this book had to offer was pretty much a setup story, right? We wound up learning about Abomination, how he was kept in like a VR animation or suspended animation, and the world came undone, and then he was released into the world, almost kind of like how Hulk was before he became Maestro, right? And he comes into this desolate world, and he doesn't know anybody. He doesn't know where he's going. And then Namor comes across him, and he recruits him, and they want to team up with each other to take down the Hulk because he's after world domination. Basically, that's what happens. And there's this trap that is set up for Maestro, and Maestro comes across the Human Torch to evaluate if he destroyed the AIM base where Blonsky came out of, and then he comes across Human Torch and he fights him. And that's basically the end of the issue. So there wasn't too much that happened. Again, it's just kind of a setup. Curious to see what this final chapter has in store for its readers. I thought the first two were really good. The last one had to do with Doctor Doom. Now, we did find out in this issue that Doctor Doom is not dead, but he's just in bad shape. So, I don't know. We'll see where this goes. This was pretty good. I always love the Maestro books. We get a little tease of Rick Jones in this issue on how he's kind of losing his marbles. So, we'll see what happens with him. But, yeah, I liked it. So, we'll see where it goes. Coming in at number 2 on this week's episode of After the Poll, guys, we have Detective Comics issue 1052. I've said it week in, week out that I've enjoyed the rise and the fall of the Arkham Tower, right? And I love seeing the detective work that's taking place in this book as well. Seeing our Bat family trying to figure out what is going on in Arkham Tower, and you as the reader witnessing everything that's falling apart. So this issue was no different. You just get a little bit more of the story of now the prisoners are aware that something is not right, that something is possessing their mind, because there was this whole fight that happened in the issue, and people are waking up with bruised ribs, bump on their heads, and they're like, there's no way that something did not happen, right? So you realize this, and you get a little bit of a history of the Doctor on, where she came from and her interactions with Batman in the past. And I love the artwork in this book. All the characters look great. They have great facial expression. The coloring is really nice in this book. The Bat characters, when shown in this book, they look very nice as well. So this book overall has been quite interesting. And again, learning about, Psycho Pirate and his powers on how he's manipulating people to, stay calm and sleep. And he's trying to erase the Doctor's memories. And he's trying to take over everybody, and it's become very taxing on him. But it's been a great read. I've really enjoyed it. If you have not read this book yet, it's too late to catch on. I would wait until they release this in a trade, and I think it would read great in a trade. And it's a good book. Definitely recommend it. Yeah. Batman Detective Comics issue 1052. Pick it up. So what's number 1 as of right now on my top 5 countdown? Well, it was the Scorched issue 2. This is the team-up book with all of these crazy characters that have to deal with Spawn, Medieval Spawn, Redeemer Spawn, She-Spawn, Gunslinger Spawn, and this issue was a lot of fun. There's a lot of action. The artwork is just absolutely insane in this book. Look at this. You open this up, boom, right to some just gunshots to this female. I mean, there was gore throughout this entire book. I mean, just nonstop, because our Spawn characters are doing battle against the Russians, and what the Russians have done is they have taken the Plague Spawn and they've captured him, and they basically, what they're doing is they're using his symbiote, and they're injecting it in syringes, and they're injecting it in themselves, and they're becoming like plague-like characters. And you found out that they're like taking people and they're doing experiments against them, and it's the Spawn's job to basically take out these Russians. And throughout this entire issue, all you have seen all the way through is just them fighting each other. And that was basically the issue. It's not very intense story plot, but if you're looking for an action book and you're looking for some cool artwork, this is the book for you, man. Will this hold on to my number 1 spot? I don't know. This was a very light week in comic books. Like I said, I only got a chance to read 5, but if you want to find out what my definitive top 5 comics are, like I said earlier, check out Comic Book Weekly on Tuesday nights at 10:15 p.m. Eastern Time. So there you guys have it. There are the top 5. I don't think there were that strong a book so far this week, but that's my top 5 as of right now. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it. So if you could, please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to hit the bell so you don't miss any content from me. And of course, guys, if you like comic book hauls and you haven't seen mine yet for the week, I'm going to leave it right here for you to click on. And guys, as always, keep buying, keep collecting, and most importantly, keep reading those comics. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care. Bye.